Utah shows up. They support their teams, whether it's University of Utah, Utah Jazz, BYU, all those teams.
In case you missed yesterday's episode, we discussed an item that Utah Hockey Club Digital Insider Cole Bagley had posted on Twitter saying, like, hey, check out this original 6 piece of pucks that is retailing for $200 in the store. Here's a quick little reaction that we had yesterday. Utah Hockey Club is selling a commemorative piece of merch that, as somebody who owns the Dylan Guenther scored the first goal in Utah Hockey Club history t-shirt, I want so bad. It is the stupidest item.
Oh, that is so dumb.
That I have come across. Sean's loading it up, and we're going to get into it and probably make it the rest of the show. Sean, you want to throw it up? That is, you see it says there, Utah Hockey Club, and then you see in big letters, Original 6. What? What does this mean? Original 6? I don't think they're one of the original. I thought they weren't they into the 30s? No, those are 6 pucks commemorating the, quote, historic original 6 games. So the first puck is the Blackhawks. The 6th one you see is the Red Wings. You got the Rangers in there. You got the Habs. You got the Boston Bruins. You got the Maple Leafs. They are selling an item that I believe is $200.
What?
Sean, could you?
There's no way that
get
could
a
be
price
$200.
check? Retails at $200 from Cole Bagley.
Oh my God.
The original 6 games.
If you spend $200 on that, you should go to jail.
Okay, well, so a couple things.
Then fucking call the police, Karen, because I'm getting it.
I kind of like it.
It's
I'm
a
not
good
gonna
thing.
lie. I don't know why.
The stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's what Utah should be, man.
Okay, so that was yesterday, and yeah, like Cliff Notes version. About 8 minutes into that conversation, we realized I did not understand what the item was. I thought it was a piece that was saying, here are the first 6 games we ever played. When I found out it was, here are the first games we played against original 6 teams, I was out. I said, fuck this. It was funny. 2 against 1. Sean was in. Pete and I were out.
I did love your reaction on Twitter, which is I loved it until I understood it. That's a perfect way to sum it up.
Yeah. Not my finest moment, but it was an even worse moment when I checked Twitter later and saw that the great Cole Bagley clapped back with this post. 3 crying emojis with, I mean, they sold out real quick, and I think it was pretty smart on Utah's. And Cole Bagley of the Utah Hockey Club joins us now because Cole, after we posted this, we learned there is a whole lot of Utah Hockey Club puck lore about which we knew very little.
Yeah. First of all, had to chirp back. I mean, that's what hockey's all about, right? I mean, just chirping back and forth. It's all in good fun. But yeah, the Utah Hockey Club fans have gone pretty berserk for these pucks commemorating Utah Hockey Club games. And to kind of add some context to that, Utah shows up. They support their teams, whether it's University of Utah, Utah Jazz, BYU, all those teams. And now you've added this more, items that they can go out and get, right? You've added this these pucks that commemorate these inaugural season games. And for some reason, Utah Hockey Club fans love them. They have sold out within generally 15 to 30 minutes of the team store opening every single night. The original puck from the Chicago Blackhawks game was reselling on eBay for $600. And so this item came out the other night. I don't know if you can see on the plaque, but it says 1 of 250. So this was a limited item, and it had to do with the original 6 teams coming to town, which was, historic. And those games were very well supported by those away fans. Some of the games that have had the most away fans have been the Rangers and the Red Wings and the Bruins. I mean, an octopus was thrown onto the ice at Delta Center. So it's a pretty cool item. They sold out really, really fast, and now they're reselling for over $1,000 on eBay. So if you guys want one, you guys can check out eBay to get one.
How are the Dylan Guenther scored the first goal in Utah Hockey Club history shirts selling? Because we did our Pro Shop Wars segment, and I was all over the resale value of this.
You slap anything with Utah Hockey Club or Dylan Guenther on any kind of merch, and it goes just so fast. Like I said, Utah likes to support their teams, and so whatever kind of merch there is, doesn't matter if it's pucks, if it's shirts, if it's sticks, if it's sweaters, if it's hats, it's going really, really fast. So you got something good there. You might want to hang on to that one.
I did see a lot of people pushing back on like me being freaked out over the price of the puck collection and sending me like, well, when you do like the aggregate math of like what these pucks go for on the secondary market, it's going to be way more than $200. So it seems like a pretty good deal. Do you expect this to happen again next year when you get the first games for the Utah, whatever name it is, because they're going to have more firsts next year?
Wasatch, Pete.
Yeah, I think it'll carry into next season just because they're going to get, a more certified name, a name that's going to carry with this organization moving forward outside of Utah Hockey Club. I don't know if it'll quite be as much as, $600 on eBay for a single puck. But that's why some people were buying up that display the other day. There was a guy, in line standing behind me as I was, I just wanted to see that display because people were posting about it. So I had to go and take a picture. I did not buy one just to make sure that's out there. But he was one of the guys that purchased one of those pucks for $600. And he's like, you know what? Now I can go and sell this other one online and make my money back. And then I've got the full display. So, I think it'll carry over. Like I said, I don't know if as intensely as it has been this season, but if you want one of these pucks, show up as soon as the gates open, or else you're not going to get your hands on one.
You are not blowing smoke or exaggerating when you do say that like the Utah fans do show up for their team and that they support them. We went to a couple of games and we were at the Vemelka game against, how do you say Vemelka game when every game this season is a Vemelka game? The Vemelka game against the Hurricanes where they had to kill the last
7 minutes of penalties.
Oh, yeah.
Just a wild atmosphere, amazing. And we were also there when they then put the jerseys on sale for the first time, and we saw the line around the corner. You documented all of that very well. What do you think the market will be like? And we're not selling them. That we got a Sergachev back there, not for sale. We got a Cooley, we got a Gunther, but they're staying here.
Some of us have two of them.
Yeah, all three of us have two of them. Do you know about this? By the way, there was an accident. They accidentally shipped like doubles. They shipped us doubles.
Maybe that was on purpose. You just lucked out there. Did you get one of each, black and white?
No, unfortunately.
So we got ours in person. We got this is a tangent here, but we got ours customized. I got a Sergachev, he got a Gunther, Sean got a Cooley, and we got them done in person. And then a few weeks later, just to the studio or to our addresses, jerseys showed up. So we got doubles. I mean, triples are best, but we have doubles now. Not selling them, but is there a similar thing going on with the jerseys? Because like the inaugural season patch and everything, if you're going nuts for pucks, they must be going bonkers for jerseys.
Yeah, I think right off the bat, people were going pretty nuts for the jerseys because, they sold out that first day, when they launched those things. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that you could only get those inaugural patches at the team store. And they would only put those patches on the jerseys produced at the team store. So you couldn't buy one off Fanatics, bring it in, and have them customize it because it's just something that they were not, that wasn't their product, and they didn't want to be held liable if there was something that went wrong. So, yeah, right out the gate, these jerseys were reselling for a pretty penny. But Utah's done a great job. They understood what the market was and how interested people were going to be in these. I mean, they're very unique, right? To have the state across the chest in a very, hockey, that diagonal text has resonated with a lot of people. And it's something that I expect to stay with the team. President of Hockey Operations, Chris Armstrong, has said that the team is planning on keeping at least one of the jerseys moving into next season, regardless of what the new mascot is. And so the jerseys have been awesome. It's been incredible to see Delta Center completely decked out head to toe with so many fans who, a lot of which are new hockey fans, people that didn't watch the NHL before. So they're not as hard to come by as the pucks. Once the pucks are gone, they're gone. They've stocked the shelves with the jerseys, so they're not as hard to come by. And but it's been a lot of fun to watch people just gravitate towards it so quickly.
You mentioned a lot of new hockey fans out in Utah, and one of my favorite things about the first year experience of the Utah Hockey Club has been like the endearingly psychotic behavior of a lot of these people. Does the fan base, are they shaping an identity to you, and what are you picking up from what that identity might be?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I was born and raised in Utah. I grew up playing hockey in Utah, and the community was really small. And so the reaction from the fan base has been both surprising and unsurprising. Unsurprising because, like I've talked about, Utah shows up. They're this is an underrated sports town in my opinion. They have been diehards of the Jazz organization for as long as they've been here. The Jazz are terrible this season, and they're still selling out Delta Center every single night to go and watch garbage basketball. So it's unsurprising in that matter, but it's surprising in that how quickly the Utah Hockey Club has just been injected into the DNA of Utah fans across the state. You're going to the grocery store, you're going to to school, you're going to wherever, and you're seeing Utah Hockey Club hats, Utah Hockey Club jerseys, Utah Hockey Club sweaters. And so I think the identity that's being created here in Utah is just how intimate, if you will, the fan base is with this team. We're not even a full year yet into Utah, the NHL being in Utah, and yet it feels like this team has been here for 30 years. They're pretty much out of the playoff race, but people are showing up. The other night, they're people were going bonkers when Clayton Keller scored that empty netter to really seal the deal. And so it's beautiful, honestly. Like, I don't know what, how you guys felt, being here in Salt Lake City. I don't know what your experience was like, and how you would compare that to some of the great hockey towns. But the marriage of Utah and the NHL has been just perfect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our biggest takeaway was like, this clearly works. This is going to be successful. If this is how excited they are right now, and granted, they have a very exciting team, but this is a team that projects to be better next year and the year after that, and they're going to have the space. And we've talked about, obviously, Rantanen is now off the board, but like they're going to be able to, if they want to make a big splash in free agency, they can keep adding. And it's awesome so far. Yeah, 9 points behind the Wild, so probably not happening this year, but if and when it does happen, it's going to rock. Cole, thank you for chronicling all of this stuff in this first season. I was wondering if you were a born and raised Utah guy, so that makes it extra cool because, and especially you said like playing hockey, I'm sure that makes it rock that you see it all come to life. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
We all silly like the mayor.